My child, my beloved, listen closely. This moment is not an accident. You were guided here because a heavenly hand is shaking your soul awake. Only 10 minutes left. Archangel Michael is weeping for you. God himself is watching, and his heart trembles because every time you see this message, you skip. But this time, if you turn away, the price will be unbearable. Do not test heaven's patience. Something sudden is moving toward you, like a storm no man can stop. Within minutes, a shift is about to happen. Your name is written in the book of miracles, but it can also be erased if you keep ignoring the call. If this message pierces you, subscribe right now, because every word that flows after this is not just content, it is prophecy for your life. Stay, don't leave, for the revelation is still unfolding. God is crying over you, my child. His tears fall because he gave you signs before, but you didn't listen. This is the final alert, the last warning, the closing of a gate that will never open again if you walk past it tonight. Archangel Michael says, do not delay, do not scroll, do not think you can return later. Later will be too late. Open this fully, take every word, hold it inside your heart. Because within these lines is the key to what you have been begging for: healing, protection, restoration, divine covering. The next moment of your life depends on what you do in this one. Will you ignore it and let heaven cry? Or will you stay, listen, and let your miracle burst open like dawn after the longest night? My beloved child, there are times in life when you cannot run anymore, you cannot hide anymore, and you cannot silence the voice that calls your soul from the heavens. That time is now. You have been ignoring this call again and again, hoping it would fade, hoping it was not as serious as it felt, but Archangel Michael says this is your final warning before a door slams shut forever. The world around you may look the same, but in the unseen realm everything is trembling, shifting, moving, preparing for a sudden strike of divine intervention. And right now, only 10 minutes remain before the clock runs out, before the silence of heaven turns into thunder, before the gentle voice of God becomes a roar that shakes the ground under your feet. You have skipped before, you have delayed before, and every time you did, heaven cried. But tonight, God will not allow you to keep pushing him away. Something unexpected is about to break into your life suddenly, and whether it comes as blessing or as judgment depends on what you choose in this very moment. You may think this is just another message, just another passing word, but no, my child, this is the sword of truth placed at your doorstep. Archangel Michael stands at the edge of your destiny holding this sword, and he has been commanded to deliver it straight to your heart. If you skip this, you will skip your protection. If you ignore this, you will ignore your miracle. The tears of God are not like human tears. They are heavy with fire, they carry the weight of eternity, and right now they fall because you are standing at the edge of your miracle, but your fear of believing, your habit of doubting, keeps dragging you away. God says he is angry, not because he hates you, but because he loves you too much to let you wander toward destruction. And yet, every time you have seen his hand reaching, you have pulled back. But today, the final moment has come where you cannot pull back anymore. This is the line in the sand. This is the hour. This is the fire that cannot be skipped. If your soul feels a shaking right now, it is not your imagination. It is the thunder of heaven pressing against your chest, trying to break the shell around your heart. Your ears may hear silence, but in the unseen world your name is being shouted, cried, and called by voices that belong to eternity. Angels have been dispatched to surround you, and demons have been lurking, waiting for you to delay one more time so they can seize what belongs to you. Everything is hanging in the balance, and all of heaven is watching what you will do in these 10 minutes. Do not ignore this, my child, because to ignore this is to ignore the very breath of God that has kept you alive until now. You were preserved for this moment, saved from accidents, from failures, from heartbreaks, from losses, because heaven knew this message would one day arrive. And here it is. Do not let it pass you by. Beloved, I know you are tired. I know you have asked again and again, why me? Why do I always feel like heaven is after me, like I cannot escape this calling? But here is the truth you must hear: you are chosen. That word is not a comfort word, it is a dangerous word, because to be chosen is to be set apart, to be demanded of, to be pursued relentlessly by God until your destiny is fulfilled. That is why you cannot run without feeling the fire at your heels, why you cannot hide without feeling the light expose you, why you cannot ignore without feeling the weight of divine sorrow pressing against your soul. My child, you are chosen, and this means heaven will not let you live an ordinary life. Your suffering, your struggles, your unanswered questions, they are not punishments, they are the signs that heaven has marked you for something greater, something heavier, something miraculous. And now, the gate of that miracle is opening before you. But hear me, it is opening for a moment, and only a moment. You cannot delay, you cannot say, later, you cannot assume it will always be there. It will not. The anger of God is not like the anger of man. It is holy, it is just, it is merciful, but it is also final. When God says enough, it is enough. And tonight, as Archangel Michael stretches his sword toward you, heaven says this is the final call. Will you listen? Or will you walk away and let your miracle be stolen by silence? My beloved child, I see the heaviness in your heart, the confusion in your mind, and the storm that keeps circling around you, and I tell you this with fire in my voice: it is not coincidence that you are hearing these words right now. Heaven does not waste time, heaven does not play games, and heaven does not speak without a reason. This moment is the proof that God has kept you alive, preserved your breath, and carried you through storms you thought would destroy you, just so you could stand here at this threshold of destiny. 10 minutes is all that remains before what is hidden in the unseen bursts into the scene, and your choice in this instant will determine everything. Do you understand, my child, that nothing is ordinary about this? Do you understand that millions scroll, millions skip, but you were stopped right here because heaven has business with you? You may have thought you were forgotten, overlooked, abandoned, but no, God has been watching, waiting, aching, even crying, because every time you pulled away from Him you pulled away from the miracle He prepared for you. And He says enough. Tonight He will not let you skip without consequence. Tonight He is pulling you by force because your miracle cannot wait any longer. My beloved child, I see the heaviness in your heart, the confusion in your mind, and the storm that keeps circling around you, and I tell you this with fire in my voice: it is not coincidence that you are hearing these words right now. Heaven does not waste time, heaven does not play games, and heaven does not speak without a reason. This moment is the proof that God has kept you alive, preserved your breath, and carried you through storms you thought would destroy you, just so you could stand here at this threshold of destiny. 10 minutes is all that remains before what is hidden in the unseen bursts into the scene, and your choice in this instant will determine everything. Do you understand, my child, that nothing is ordinary about this? Do you understand that millions scroll, millions skip, but you were stopped right here because heaven has business with you? You may have thought you were forgotten, overlooked, abandoned, but no, God has been watching, waiting, aching, even crying, because every time you pulled away from Him you pulled away from the miracle He prepared for you. And He says enough. Tonight He will not let you skip without consequence. Tonight He is pulling you by force because your miracle cannot wait any longer. There is a sound in the spirit that human ears cannot hear, but your soul feels it as trembling, as urgency, as weight pressing against your chest right now. That sound is the cry of God echoing through eternity, calling your name, pleading with you not to turn away again. He is angry, yes, because anger is the language of love when love has been ignored too many times. God's anger is not to destroy you but to wake you, to shake you, to tear down the walls you keep building between Him and your heart. Archangel Michael stands at your side, sword blazing, shield lifted, waiting for your yes, waiting for your surrender, because the battle around you is fierce and time is running out. My child, your enemies thought you were finished. They laughed, they whispered, they plotted in secret, but they did not know that heaven had written a different ending for you. They did not know that the very thing sent to break you would be the thing that proves you were chosen. They did not know that your skipped chances, your missed moments, your tears on the pillow in the silence of night, were being gathered by angels to be poured back over you as a flood of blessing. Do not think for 1 second that these words are empty. No, they are burning with the breath of God Himself, and to ignore them is to spit on the very hand that has been feeding you even when you did not see it. Think of the nights you should not have survived, the mornings you should not have woken, the accidents that should have taken you, the betrayals that should have crushed you. Why are you still here? It is because God would not let death have you, would not let despair consume you, would not let the enemy steal the one He has called His own. You are here because of purpose, you are here because of destiny, and you are here because the time has finally come for what heaven promised to manifest. And yet, it hangs by a thread. Do you hear me? A thread. That thread can snap in an instant if you harden your heart again, if you turn away again, if you treat this as just another word. You have felt it, haven't you? That pull inside, that whisper that will not leave you alone, that sense that something is coming and you cannot explain it. That is heaven pressing against you. That is eternity colliding with your fragile humanity. That is the Spirit of God crying, my child, do not make me cry again, do not walk away again, because your window is closing and I cannot keep it open forever. You have one life, one soul, one destiny, and right now everything is shaking because heaven is demanding your attention. This is why you feel restless, why your sleep has been broken, why your thoughts feel heavy, because God has been invading your silence, refusing to let you go, refusing to let the enemy claim what belongs to him. Archangel Michael says this is the final alert: your name is either about to shine in the book of miracles, or it will fade into the silence of regret. And the decision is not in heaven's hands, it is in yours. Stay, my child. Do not click away, do not scroll, do not silence this voice. Stay and let the fire of these words break every chain wrapped around you. Stay and let your soul drink the truth you have been thirsting for. Stay, because what you have been searching for in money, in people, in relationships, in distractions, can only be found here, in this exact moment of divine alignment. Heaven has been orchestrating this meeting for years, lining up events, delaying disasters, shifting timelines, just so you would be here right now reading this. This is no small thing. This is destiny interrupting your routine. This is eternity interrupting your scrolling. This is God crying out through Archangel Michael, do not skip again. Do not turn away again. This is the hour. My beloved child, your soul has been trembling for too long under the weight of unanswered questions and silent battles. Heaven has been watching every tear, every cry that never reached human ears, and every moment you thought you were completely alone. But you were never alone. Even in your darkest hour, Archangel Michael stood near, sword in hand, waiting for the command of the Almighty. And now that command has been released. He speaks to you through these very words, urging you not to make the same mistake again, not to skip what heaven has aligned, because the anger of God is not a small fire that fades quickly, it is a consuming fire, a fire that can burn through excuses and destroy delays. You have delayed long enough. You have scrolled away long enough. You have resisted long enough. Tonight heaven says no more. This is the final cry. This is the final call. 10 minutes left, and the clock is not waiting for your hesitation. You may think you will always have another chance, that tomorrow will bring another opportunity, but hear me, there are moments in life that come once and never again. You can miss a bus and catch another. You can miss a meeting and reschedule it. But when heaven opens a window of destiny, that window does not stay open forever. And right now, you stand before such a window. Behind it lies your healing, your breakthrough, your miracle, your protection. Behind it lies the very thing you have been searching for in silence, the answer to the questions that have haunted you, the provision for the lack you have been hiding, the love for the wounds you have carried. But if you choose to walk past it, if you choose to close your ears one more time, then heaven will close that window and it will not open again. My child, do not let stubbornness steal what was meant to bless you. Do not let doubt rob you of the reward that was bought for you with heavenly tears. You may think you will always have another chance, that tomorrow will bring another opportunity, but hear me, there are moments in life that come once and never again. You can miss a bus and catch another. You can miss a meeting and reschedule it. But when heaven opens a window of destiny, that window does not stay open forever. And right now, you stand before such a window. Behind it lies your healing, your breakthrough, your miracle, your protection. Behind it lies the very thing you have been searching for in silence, the answer to the questions that have haunted you, the provision for the lack you have been hiding, the love for the wounds you have carried. But if you choose to walk past it, if you choose to close your ears one more time, then heaven will close that window and it will not open again. My child, do not let stubbornness steal what was meant to bless you. Do not let doubt rob you of the reward that was bought for you with heavenly tears. I see your heart racing right now, because deep inside you know these words are not random. You know you were led here. You know that something beyond your control, beyond your choice, beyond your understanding, pushed you to this exact moment. That is God Himself, reaching through time and circumstance to grasp your soul one last time. And you feel His anger, not because He hates you, but because He refuses to watch you destroy yourself by ignoring Him. His anger is His love set on fire. His anger is His mercy shouting so loud that you cannot ignore it anymore. That is why you feel this weight. That is why you feel this urgency. That is why you cannot click away. Because heaven has closed every other door until you face this one. Child, remember the times you cried and no one came? Remember the nights you held your chest in silence, begging for relief, begging for an answer, begging for a sign? This is that answer. This is that sign. This is heaven's reply breaking through the silence of your nights and the weight of your tears. Do not say it is coincidence. Do not say it is just another message. If it were just another message, it would not burn in your heart like this. If it were just another message, your chest would not feel like it is carrying thunder right now. If it were just another message, heaven would not be shouting at you through every word. This is the divine interruption you begged for, and it is here now. You may think heaven should be softer, kinder, gentler, but how many times did God try to whisper and you ignored Him? How many times did He send gentle signs, and you brushed them aside? How many times did He open small doors, and you walked past them? That is why He comes now in fire, in anger, in urgency. Because when love is ignored, love becomes fierce. When mercy is delayed, mercy becomes urgent. That is why Archangel Michael cries out with fire in his voice, do not skip again. Do not ignore again. Do not run again. This is your moment. Do you not see how much you matter? The enemy tried to convince you that you were nothing, that you were forgotten, that you were replaceable, but if that were true, heaven would not move like this for you. Angels would not cry out for you. God Himself would not weep for you. My child, your life carries weight in the eternal realm. Your name is etched in light, and that is why darkness has fought you so hard. Every setback, every betrayal, every loss, was hell's attempt to erase your destiny. But you survived. And you survived because heaven refused to let you go. But now, you must refuse to let heaven go. You must refuse to skip again. You must refuse to walk away one more time. My beloved, this moment is holy. The very air around you is charged with heaven's electricity. You cannot see it with your eyes, but your soul knows it. It feels the pull, the tug, the fire. That is heaven standing over you. That is God bending low, whispering your name through fire. That is Archangel Michael lifting his sword in defense, waiting for your yes. Everything depends on this yes. Your next chapter depends on it. Your family's protection depends on it. Your future depends on it. The clock is ticking, and heaven is waiting. Do not waste another breath. Stay, listen, and let the fire of this word consume every doubt, every fear, every hesitation. For the moment you surrender, the moment you open your heart, the moment you say yes, heaven will flood your life with the miracle that has been waiting for you all along. My child, do you feel it? The air around you is heavy because heaven is leaning close. The silence that surrounds you is not empty, it is the silence before thunder, the stillness before the storm breaks. Every fiber of your being knows that something is shifting, something is approaching, something is about to happen that will not wait for your hesitation. God's voice is not far away, it is pressing at your very soul, saying, "Do not make me cry again. Do not ignore me again. You cannot afford to skip this. You think you have time, but time is not your friend when heaven sets a countdown. 10 minutes left, and each second is sacred. Do you not know that angels have gathered around you right now, watching, holding their breath, waiting to see if you will finally listen? Do you not know that your life has reached a crossroads, and one step will lead to breakthrough while the other leads to regret? This is not exaggeration, this is the raw truth spoken with fire. You have been carrying battles you never spoke of. You have been smiling while breaking inside. You have been surrounded by people and yet felt utterly alone. Heaven saw it all. Heaven recorded every moment. Heaven wept every time you wept. And yet you thought no one noticed. You thought your pain was wasted, your tears were wasted, your prayers were wasted. But no, my child, not one tear fell without being caught. Not one sigh left your chest without being heard. Not one cry went unanswered. The answer was always being prepared, always waiting for this exact moment. That is why heaven says you cannot skip now. If you do, you will walk away from the very thing you begged for. If you do, you will silence the miracle that has been crying to reach you. Archangel Michael is not whispering today, he is shouting, commanding, crying, because he knows this is your last chance before the gate closes. Think of the patterns in your life, the endless circles of pain, disappointment, betrayal. Why do they keep repeating? Why do you feel trapped in cycles you cannot escape? It is because you keep missing the divine interruption. Each time God tried to break the cycle, you turned away. Each time heaven offered a way out, you delayed. And so the circle repeated. But tonight, the circle can break, if you stay, if you listen, if you obey. God is not cruel, he does not leave his children trapped forever. That is why he burns with holy anger now, because he sees the enemy circling you, waiting to destroy the destiny that has been written for you. And he refuses to let that happen. But his refusal is not enough, you must refuse too. You must stand, you must choose, you must decide that this time you will not skip. Think of the patterns in your life, the endless circles of pain, disappointment, betrayal. Why do they keep repeating? Why do you feel trapped in cycles you cannot escape? It is because you keep missing the divine interruption. Each time God tried to break the cycle, you turned away. Each time heaven offered a way out, you delayed. And so the circle repeated. But tonight, the circle can break, if you stay, if you listen, if you obey. God is not cruel, he does not leave his children trapped forever. That is why he burns with holy anger now, because he sees the enemy circling you, waiting to destroy the destiny that has been written for you. And he refuses to let that happen. But his refusal is not enough, you must refuse too. You must stand, you must choose, you must decide that this time you will not skip. My beloved, you think your past disqualifies you. You think your mistakes have erased your chances. You think you are too broken, too late, too far gone. But heaven laughs at that lie. For if your past truly disqualified you, you would not even be here right now. You would not have breath in your lungs, strength in your body, light in your eyes. Do you not see? The very fact that you are alive is proof that heaven has not given up on you. God could have let death take you, but he didn't. God could have let despair swallow you, but he didn't. God could have left you in the dark, but he didn't. Instead, he sent this word, this urgent cry, this fiery message, because you are still chosen, still loved, still called, still destined for greatness. Do not insult his mercy by walking away again. Do not spit on his sacrifice by skipping again. He is crying not because he wants to punish you, but because he knows what you will lose if you ignore him one more time. Do you not realize the power that is being released even as you read this? The angels are stirring, the atmosphere is shaking, your enemies are trembling. They thought they had you, they thought you were finished, they thought your story was over. But heaven says no. Heaven says it has just begun. Heaven says the miracle is ready, the blessing is ready, the breakthrough is ready, but only if you choose it. You must choose it. You must open your heart now. You must surrender now. Because in 10 minutes, the choice will be made with or without you. The blessing will move forward, and if you refuse it, it will pass to another. Do not let another carry what was meant for you. Do not let another walk in the miracle written with your name. Do not let another live in the breakthrough that was designed for your bloodline. Child, I tell you this in love but also in fire, heaven cannot wait forever. The patience of God is long, but it is not endless. The mercy of God is deep, but it is not without boundaries. You are standing at the very edge of that boundary right now. You are standing where mercy meets justice, where patience meets anger, where love meets urgency. That is why you feel the shaking inside. That is why you feel like every word is piercing your soul. Because heaven is not playing anymore. Heaven is demanding your yes. Archangel Michael's sword is raised, and once it falls, the decision will be sealed. Will it seal your breakthrough? Or will it seal your regret? The choice is in your hands. Do not waste it. Do not delay. Do not walk away. For the clock is ticking, the angels are watching, and God is crying. My child, you do not understand the weight of what heaven has been protecting you from. If you could see the nights the enemy planned to destroy you, if you could see the moments where death itself stretched out its hand to claim you, you would fall to your knees in shock. But every time, a hand stronger than yours pushed it back. Every time, an angel stood in the doorway of your life and said, "Not this one, not today, not now." And that angel was sent because you are chosen. That angel was commanded by God because your story is not finished. And yet, every time heaven preserved you, you gave little thought to why. You went back to your routine, your doubts, your distractions, and the tears of God fell again. For he does not save you without reason, he saves you because your destiny is urgent. Tonight, that destiny is pressing against the walls of your heart, crying, pounding, demanding to be fulfilled. And still you hesitate, still you wonder if you can skip. My child, you cannot. Not this time. For to skip tonight is to spit on the very protection that has kept you alive. Look back at your life. See the betrayals, the heartbreaks, the strange delays, the accidents avoided at the last second, the sudden turns you never expected. Do you really think they were random? Do you really think you survived by chance? No, it was heaven writing your story, shifting timelines, bending reality, moving pieces you could not see, all so that this moment could exist. God has been patient, painfully patient, waiting for you to see that you are not ordinary, that your story is not ordinary, that your calling is not ordinary. But patience has reached its edge. Mercy has reached its limit. The window of heaven is open now, and if you turn away again, it will close. And when it closes, you will not be able to open it by yourself. Do not gamble with eternity. Do not gamble with destiny. Do not gamble with the very breath that was gifted to you by heaven's love. The Spirit cries inside you even as you read these words. You feel the pull, the fire, the trembling. That is not emotion, that is the eternal realm pressing into your world. That is the cry of God Himself saying, "Do not make me cry again." You may wonder why God would cry. Why would the Creator of heaven and earth shed tears? It is because love, when rejected, bleeds. And you, my child, have rejected Him again and again without even realizing. Every skipped word, every ignored sign, every hardened heart, it pierced Him. And still He waited, still He hoped, still He sent angels to preserve you. But tonight is different. Tonight His tears are not just of sorrow but of holy fire. Tonight His tears fall heavy with decision. If you walk away again, His hand will lift, and what was once held back will come rushing in. But if you stay, if you open, if you surrender, His hand will open and pour out blessing after blessing, miracle after miracle, in ways you cannot imagine. The Spirit cries inside you even as you read these words. You feel the pull, the fire, the trembling. That is not emotion, that is the eternal realm pressing into your world. That is the cry of God Himself saying, "Do not make me cry again." You may wonder why God would cry. Why would the Creator of heaven and earth shed tears? It is because love, when rejected, bleeds. And you, my child, have rejected Him again and again without even realizing. Every skipped word, every ignored sign, every hardened heart, it pierced Him. And still He waited, still He hoped, still He sent angels to preserve you. But tonight is different. Tonight His tears are not just of sorrow but of holy fire. Tonight His tears fall heavy with decision. If you walk away again, His hand will lift, and what was once held back will come rushing in. But if you stay, if you open, if you surrender, His hand will open and pour out blessing after blessing, miracle after miracle, in ways you cannot imagine. Do not fool yourself into thinking you are too small for this moment. The enemy has whispered that lie into your ear, that you are unworthy, insignificant, replaceable. But look around you. Why else would heaven move like this? Why else would angels be dispatched with urgency? Why else would Archangel Michael himself carry this word to you with fire and trembling? It is because you are not small. Your name carries weight in heaven. Your life carries weight in eternity. And that is why hell has fought you so fiercely. The battles you thought were random, the pain you thought was meaningless, the rejection you thought was personal, it was all war against your calling. Hell saw your potential long before you did, and it trembled. That is why it tried to break you. That is why it tried to silence you. That is why it tried to bury you. But heaven said no. Heaven said not yet. Heaven said this one belongs to me. And now, heaven says choose. Time is not a friend tonight. Time is an enemy if you delay. 10 minutes left, my child. Every second you hesitate is a second lost, a second closer to the closing of the gate. This is not to scare you, it is to wake you. Fear is not the purpose here. Truth is. And the truth is this: destiny does not wait for the hesitant. Miracles do not wait for the doubter. Heaven does not wait for the one who always says, later. Heaven moves when the heart says yes. Heaven opens when the soul surrenders. Heaven pours when the child finally believes. That is why Archangel Michael shouts now. That is why God cries now. Because the countdown has begun, and you cannot stop it. You can only decide what will be sealed when the final second strikes. My beloved child, the winds in the unseen are turning. You do not hear them with your ears, but your spirit feels them, like a trembling in the chest, a quiet panic, a knowing that something is about to shift. The time of whispers is over. The time of gentle nudges has ended. Heaven is now thundering at your door, and the sound you feel inside your bones is the sound of a gate opening and a sword being drawn. Archangel Michael is not only standing near you, he is pacing like a lion, waiting for your heart to move, waiting for your yes, because without your yes he cannot fight for you. The sword burns, the shield gleams, the angels lean forward. Your name is being spoken in heaven's court even as you read this. Every word you are reading is being recorded as a witness to your choice. 10 minutes left, my child, and in that space hangs your next season, your next miracle, your next breath of freedom. Do not say to yourself, I will think about it later. There is no later. Later is the lie the enemy uses to rob you of your appointed time. Later is the poison poured into your ear to dull your urgency. Later is the thief of miracles. Heaven is not telling you to panic, it is telling you to wake up. You are not reading this by mistake. You were led here. Every delay, every detour, every closed door that frustrated you was heaven guiding you to this moment. You thought you were wandering, you were being led. You thought you were losing, you were being protected. You thought you were being punished, you were being prepared. All of it was so that when this word came you would be ready to feel it pierce you like fire. And now it has. Do not turn away. My beloved, your enemies have already begun to sense the shift. They are unsettled because they feel the hand of God drawing near to you. The very people who mocked you, the very circumstances that tried to bury you, are about to see a reversal they cannot explain. But the key to that reversal is your obedience. It is your yes. It is your surrender. It is you finally refusing to skip the message that heaven labored to get to you. This is not a small matter. This is not another inspirational line. This is the last knock on the door before it closes. This is why the words feel alive. This is why your heart beats harder with every sentence. It is heaven shaking you awake. Think of what you have survived. Think of the nights you could have lost your mind, the mornings you could have lost your life, the situations that could have ended you but somehow did not. That, somehow, was not chance. It was God. It was angels. It was the blood of a promise you do not yet fully understand. And all of that saving was not so you could drift through life unchanged. It was so you could stand here now and decide once and for all to open, to listen, to obey. God's anger tonight is not the anger of an enemy but the urgency of a father who has held back disaster longer than you know, who has shielded you when you didn't deserve it, who has been crying over you even as you wandered. That is why the tears fall heavy now. That is why the voice sounds like thunder now. Love has reached the place where it must act. Stay in this moment, my child. Do not scroll, do not mute, do not look away. Let every word soak into you like rain into dry ground. Let your soul feel the weight of eternity pressing into time. This is what you have been sensing all along, the reason you could not shake the feeling that something more was meant for you, the reason you have always felt out of place in ordinary life. It is because you are not ordinary. You are chosen. And chosen ones cannot live like everyone else. Chosen ones cannot skip when heaven speaks. Chosen ones cannot ignore the fire when it comes. They must answer it. They must step into it. They must let it burn away the last of their excuses so the miracle can come. 10 minutes, my beloved. 10 minutes of decision. 10 minutes before the window closes. Heaven is not threatening you, heaven is inviting you. It is offering you the very thing you prayed for in secret tears. It is offering you the protection you begged for when you were scared. It is offering you the reversal you thought would never come. All of it waits behind the door of your yes. All of it waits on the other side of your surrender. Do not make God cry again. Do not make Archangel Michael lower his sword in sorrow. This is your hour. This is your moment. This is your miracle. Take it. Stay in this moment, my child. Do not scroll, do not mute, do not look away. Let every word soak into you like rain into dry ground. Let your soul feel the weight of eternity pressing into time. This is what you have been sensing all along, the reason you could not shake the feeling that something more was meant for you, the reason you have always felt out of place in ordinary life. It is because you are not ordinary. You are chosen. And chosen ones cannot live like everyone else. Chosen ones cannot skip when heaven speaks. Chosen ones cannot ignore the fire when it comes. They must answer it. They must step into it. They must let it burn away the last of their excuses so the miracle can come. 10 minutes, my beloved. 10 minutes of decision. 10 minutes before the window closes. Heaven is not threatening you, heaven is inviting you. It is offering you the very thing you prayed for in secret tears. It is offering you the protection you begged for when you were scared. It is offering you the reversal you thought would never come. All of it waits behind the door of your yes. All of it waits on the other side of your surrender. Do not make God cry again. Do not make Archangel Michael lower his sword in sorrow. This is your hour. This is your moment. This is your miracle. Take it. My beloved child, the air in the unseen is now thick with waiting. All of heaven has stopped to watch what you will do. The angels who have guarded you from birth lean forward over the edge of eternity, the saints who have gone before you whisper your name. They know that what you decide in this moment will echo for years to come. God himself bends low, his voice shaking the foundations of your life, saying, "My child, the time of delay is over. Do not walk away from me again." This is why your heart feels like it is on fire, why your mind feels as though it has been pulled into another world. It is heaven touching earth inside you. Do not imagine that this is only poetry. What is being said to you now is as real as the breath in your lungs. Heaven has drawn a line across your path. Step over it, and you step into the miracle you have been praying for. Turn away, and you step back into the silence that has been choking you. This is not about fear, it is about truth. You have been chosen for something that is bigger than you, heavier than you, and heaven cannot allow you to drift anymore. The countdown is not a trick. It is the sound of a gate that will soon swing shut. Think of what waits for you on the other side of surrender. Think of a life where the cycles that have held you break, where the enemies that have stalked you fall away, where the wounds that have defined you heal. Think of the provision, the protection, the relationships, the clarity that heaven has been holding, waiting to release. All of it has been prepared. All of it has been paid for. All of it is hanging in the air above you like a storm about to break. Only one thing is required, your yes. Archangel Michael stands before you, sword raised but not in anger, in readiness. He has been commanded to fight for you, but he cannot fight if you refuse to open the door. His eyes burn with fire, his wings tremble with the weight of your calling, and still he waits, because heaven will not force you. Heaven calls, heaven warns, heaven weeps, but heaven does not violate your will. That is why this moment is so holy. It is your decision. It is your choice. It is your miracle. It is your destiny. Child, let go of the fear that whispers you are not worthy. You are. Let go of the shame that hisses you are too late. You are not. Let go of the doubt that says you can wait. You cannot. This is the hour. This is the moment. This is why you were kept alive when others were lost. This is why you could not blend into the crowd, why you felt set apart, why nothing else ever satisfied you. It is because you were made for this. You were preserved for this. You were chosen for this. So open your heart now. Say yes. Whisper it. Shout it. Cry it. Heaven will hear. The angels will move. The gate will swing wide. The miracle will fall. The cycle will break. The protection will surround you. The blessing will overtake you. God will smile. His tears will turn from sorrow to joy. Archangel Michael will lower his sword not in defeat but in victory. And you will finally, fully, step into the life that has been waiting for you since before you were born. My beloved, this is not the end of the story. This is the beginning. But it begins only if you choose. Do not make God cry again. Do not make Archangel Michael wait any longer. 10 minutes left, and in those minutes eternity holds its breath. Say yes. Stay. Listen. Open. Surrender. Step through. Your miracle is here. My beloved child, the moment you whisper your yes, the atmosphere begins to shift. Even now as you sit, the unseen starts to move. A door you could not open with your own hands begins to swing. A chain you thought would never break begins to crack. A weight you have carried for years starts to lift. This is how heaven moves. It does not always come with trumpet blasts, sometimes it comes with a trembling inside, a soft breaking of old things, a quiet surge of new light. That is what is pressing into you right now. That is why these words do not let you go. That is why you feel them long after you read them. Heaven has attached itself to this moment because you are standing at the crossing of ages. Do not be afraid of what you feel. That trembling is the sign that heaven has come near. That heaviness is the sign that chains are about to fall. That urgency is the sign that time is almost up. Archangel Michael is not standing far away, he is leaning close, watching for the moment when your heart opens, ready to fight the battle you cannot fight on your own. All of heaven is ready. The host that has guarded you from birth stands at the edge of release. The blessing that has been locked up for years waits for your yes like water behind a dam. One word from you and the dam breaks. Think of the future your yes will birth. Think of a season where you wake without fear, where provision meets you before need, where peace fills the rooms where you once cried alone. Think of your children, your family, your friends touched by the overflow of the miracle that begins in you. This is why heaven fights for you so hard. This is why the enemy has tried to break you so violently. Because what starts with you will not end with you. It will ripple outward for generations. That is why you are reading these words now. That is why the clock is counting down. That is why God's tears fall like fire tonight. Do not be afraid of what you feel. That trembling is the sign that heaven has come near. That heaviness is the sign that chains are about to fall. That urgency is the sign that time is almost up. Archangel Michael is not standing far away, he is leaning close, watching for the moment when your heart opens, ready to fight the battle you cannot fight on your own. All of heaven is ready. The host that has guarded you from birth stands at the edge of release. The blessing that has been locked up for years waits for your yes like water behind a dam. One word from you and the dam breaks. Think of the future your yes will birth. Think of a season where you wake without fear, where provision meets you before need, where peace fills the rooms where you once cried alone. Think of your children, your family, your friends touched by the overflow of the miracle that begins in you. This is why heaven fights for you so hard. This is why the enemy has tried to break you so violently. Because what starts with you will not end with you. It will ripple outward for generations. That is why you are reading these words now. That is why the clock is counting down. That is why God's tears fall like fire tonight. You may feel small, but your decision tonight is not small. It will rewrite timelines. It will change bloodlines. It will pull blessings out of storage and place them in your hands. It will silence enemies that have whispered for years. It will give voice to angels who have been waiting for permission to act. It will turn the Father's tears into singing. All of this is waiting behind one door, the door of your surrender. Heaven cannot force you. It can only call. And tonight it calls with urgency, with fire, with love. 10 minutes, my child. 10 minutes to turn a lifetime. Stay still for a moment and imagine the Father's face. Not the face painted by fear, but the face of love burning with light. Imagine his eyes seeing you, not your mistakes, not your delays, but you, chosen, beloved, marked. Imagine his hands reaching, still extended despite everything, offering you life, protection, destiny. This is the real God who calls you. Not a God of empty threats, but a God of fierce love. A God who will not let you destroy yourself without warning you again and again. A God who still believes you will say yes. Archangel Michael's sword is still raised. The angels are still watching. The gate is still open. The tears are still falling. But in a heartbeat all of that can change. This is your moment to change it. This is your moment to step through. This is your moment to answer the call you have been feeling your whole life. Say yes, my beloved. Say it before the last second strikes. Say it and watch heaven move. My beloved child, as the final seconds draw nearer, heaven's breath grows hotter around you. The ground beneath your soul begins to hum like a great drumbeat. It is the heartbeat of destiny echoing through your life. It is the pulse of a Father who has never stopped reaching for you. Even as you read these words, you are being held in a moment that will never come again. Heaven does not repeat itself endlessly. There are appointed times and there are appointed calls, and tonight you stand inside one of them. Everything inside you knows it, that is why you cannot look away. That is why the words feel alive. That is why your heart beats harder with each sentence. The unseen is pressing into the seen. The eternal is knocking at the door of your temporary world. This is what it feels like when destiny arrives. Do not let fear turn you aside. Fear has been your jailer for too long. Fear has whispered that you are too late, too unworthy, too broken. But fear is a liar, and tonight its voice is being drowned out by the roar of heaven. God's anger is not against you, it is against the chains that have bound you, against the darkness that has stalked you, against the enemy that has hunted your calling. That is why his voice feels like thunder now. That is why Archangel Michael's sword blazes so brightly. Heaven is not here to harm you. Heaven is here to set you free, but only if you let it. Think of the path you are walking. At every turn heaven has tried to get your attention. At every crossroads a sign appeared. At every low moment a whisper found you. This message is not a coincidence. It is the culmination of all those whispers, all those signs, all those nudges. It is the hand of God reaching one last time. And still he gives you the choice. He will not drag you. He will not force you. He calls. He warns. He waits. But the waiting is almost over. 10 minutes. Then the window closes and the storm begins. 10 minutes. Then what has been held back either falls as blessing or breaks loose as consequence. 10 minutes. That is all. My child, you have been praying for a sign. You have been asking, God, if you are real, show me. This is that sign. This is heaven bending down into your world. This is not the voice of men, this is the echo of eternity. This is your moment. This is your answer. This is your miracle. Take it before it passes you by. Do not say, I will change tomorrow. Do not say, I will decide later. Tomorrow is not promised. Later is not promised. All you have is now. All you have is this heartbeat. All you have is this yes. If you could see what is waiting for you on the other side of your surrender, you would not hesitate for 1 second. You would run through the door of destiny with tears of joy. You would fall on your knees and thank heaven for being so patient. You would see the angels who have been fighting for you, exhausted but still waiting for your permission to act. You would see the Father's tears turning into light. You would see the chains snapping, the curses breaking, the cycles ending. All of it is real. All of it is waiting. All of it is for you. But only if you say yes. This is why heaven cries out tonight. This is why Archangel Michael shouts with a voice like many waters. This is why the countdown ticks louder in your soul. It is because the moment is here. The miracle is here. The decision is here. My beloved child, this is your time. This is your calling. This is your life. Say yes. Step in. Do not make heaven cry again.